But just to play devil's advocate here, sir, sort of like two questions or two important topics that I'm going to fuse into one. First is, sir, that Baba Saheb Ambedkar ji, he was used by Gandhi as this mascot of like a Dalit hero who was on Gandhi's side. But that wasn't true. And it's quite apparent by his works and his commentaries, especially the BBC interview, where he talks about Clement Attlee's autobiography, saying INA was the reason for freedom. But at the same time, so the first question is basically how pivotal a role does Baba Saheb Ambedkar play in the whole scheme of things in terms of the role of radical freedom fighting that was done in India. And the second question is that Winston Churchill and Clement Attlee, even though they weren't the best of friends, there was a lot of threat by Gandhi that was felt by Winston Churchill, because there was constant condemnation that Winston Churchill did of Gandhi. So do you think Clement Attlee's autobiography saying that it was the radical freedom fighters, or saying that Gandhi's contribution was minimal, could somehow also have an ulterior motive?
I'll answer your second question first. I think Winston Churchill had a kind of dislike for Gandhi, because he was a man who respected power and strength. And I think he must have felt that this non-violent movement is some kind of, that is something which never appealed to him. So I don't think he was taking Gandhi very seriously. When Gandhi started his fast in the jail, in the comfortable jail that he used to be put in, Churchill had once inquired that, is the old man still alive? So that is a kind of, I think, a kind of contempt that he used to feel for Gandhi. So I don't think he ever took Gandhi as a very, very serious opponent. And actually, I don't think had any reason for having any ulterior motive in not giving credit to Gandhi if it was due. Because in fact, for the Britishers, it was a better narrative that they accepted the non-violent movement of Congress, and on their own, as true liberals, they handed over the reins of India to Congress. It showed them in better light than saying that we were scared of the naval mutiny and the Indian army revolting against us. It put us under huge stress, and that's why we went away. So if I was British, I would have preferred to tell the story to the world that we went respecting the non-violent movement, and since we were very liberal and open-minded, we handed over the power to Congress. But the fact remains that it was only because of the tremendous pressure that was created because of the Indian National Army, then the atmosphere that was created in India because of the Indian National Army's fight, the realization that came into the Indian soldiers who fought on the side of British in the Second World War. When they started hearing stories of the fight of Indian National Army, they also started feeling कि हमने क्या किया? When our own brothers were fighting for the independence of India, we were fighting on the side of the British. So they became very uncomfortable, and there was a lot of, the situation was boiling at that time. And because of that, only the naval mutiny happened. And that really shook the British, because the only support on which the British ruled India was the loyalty of the British Army, Indian Army working for the British. Because as I said initially, from thousands of kilometers, there was no way they could have controlled India only by the military might. So they needed the loyalty of Indian soldiers. And once that was lost, they knew that their game was up. And that's why they left. Coming to Baba Saheb Ambedkar, I think he was a fiercest critic of Gandhiji. if you compare, even nobody has criticized Gandhiji in such strong terms as Babasaheb Ambedkar has. There is a book which I will share with you when we meet. What Gandhi and Congress did to the untouchables, something like that is the title of the book. And he has kind of thrashed Gandhi. I mean, जबरदस्त criticism है गांधी जी के ऊपर. So Baba Saheb Ambedkar being a Dalit icon of Congress is not the narrative which was in existence at any time. In fact, Congress made sure that Baba Saheb was defeated in the elections, even post-independence. So Baba Saheb and Congress never got along together. And as far as the support to the radical freedom fighters is concerned, I'll just give you one example. In the Gandhi murder case, Swatantraveer Savarkar was also arrested. I'm sure you know that. And his advocate, one Mr. Bopatkar, he was fighting the case on behalf of Savarkar. He got a call once and he was told that I want to meet you. It was from a central minister. And he said that I want to meet you. So he said, okay, I'll come to your office or you come to my office. Said, no, I will not meet you like that. At such and such place, I will be sitting in my car. You come there, sit in my car. We will take a round, and while traveling, I'll discuss. While commuting, I'll discuss. He didn't understand why something like this is being done. So he went there. He sat in the car. That minister told him that in the cabinet meeting, from the top, there is a lot of pressure that Savarkar must be somehow indicted in this case, and somehow he must be proved guilty. But I know that he is not guilty, and you will win the case, I'm very sure. And if you require anything, I will support you. Itna bol ke he got down and went away. The name of that minister was Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and he was the law minister at that time. He was comparison between Gandhi and Savarkar. He was pro Savarkar but not pro Gandhi. And in fact, he was pro the truth. I will put it that way. So he knew that Savarkar is not guilty, and he knew that he's trying to be trapped. There is a trap being laid for him. So he helped the advocate of Swatantraveer Savarkar. So that is the reality. Baba Saheb, being the Dalit icon of Congress, is farthest from any possibility.
One more question, sir. Since you mentioned Savarkar ji, I remember Rahul Gandhi once saying that हमारे गांधी हैं और आपके सावरकर हैं, to looking at the BJP pantheon. And that reminds me, sir, that for a revolution to happen in a way which causes us to look back into our history, nationalism is very important. But two major challenges that nationalism faces when history comes up is because there is proselytization is a very big part of it, and bigotry is a very big part of it. Uski wajah se, because there are these concepts of religious fraternity in Christianity and Islam, like Islam has the Ummah. So because of that, how exactly should an Indian Muslim or an Indian Christian navigate history? And secondly, sir, since you talked about inferiority complex in sports, where half the career of many players went into overcoming their complex, this concept of global citizen has come up, because the Western Hemisphere has already moved on from jingoism, nationalism in positive or negative terms. They've started talking about being global citizens, breaking boundaries and all of this. So these are two things that are really dividing us. The second extension of the fraternity part being that when Rahul Gandhi says something like "Hamare Gandhi aur aapke Savarkar hain," there is this division of history as right-wing history and left-wing history. So how appropriate is it to divide the political arena as right-wing and left-wing, number one? And number two, isn't it a disservice to nationalist history to even do so?
Actually, हमारे गांधी और आपके सावरकर is not a left and right division, because Gandhi was in no way a leftist. Gandhi was a devout Hindu. He was thoroughly religious. He believed in Sanatan religion. In fact, Savarkar was the one who was anti-Varnashram. He was a social reformer. He fought against caste discrimination. And he said that Varnashram Vyavastha in the past might have been correct, but today we don't need it, and the Varna system should be ended. Whereas Gandhi was a staunch supporter of Varna system. So Gandhi leftist and Savarkar rightist is fundamentally a flawed kind of a division. And the Nehruvian Congress, of which Rahul Gandhi is a product, again, in no way connects with the Gandhian thought, because Gandhi was a product of Indian soil. There may be many rights and wrongs that he might have committed, but his connection with the Indian soil was not in doubt, never in doubt. Whereas this clan, Nehru and running up to Rahul Gandhi, their fundamental connect with the Indian soil itself is doubtful. And as we go along, by the time we reach Rahul Gandhi, I think the connect completely disappears. So they trying to own up the legacy of Gandhi is itself questionable. Whereas BJP owning up Savarkar's legacy is quite justified, because Savarkar was the one who articulated the thought of Hindutva, on which BJP stands for. So, आपके सावरकर, ये राहुल गांधी का बोलना सही है, but हमारे गांधी ये जो बोल रहा है, that has got no foundation. So that statement itself is wrong.
Very true, sir. Congress, Nehru's white cap shines red under the sun. So of course it can't be there can't be any association with Gandhi. Very true. Thank you very much.